Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Richard Nuttall. I'm Anthony Barrett, joined by Richard Nuttall, head coach of the Hofstra men's soccer team. Coach, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Tough weekend, but good overall.
2 games, 2 losses for your squad this past week, but before we actually get to breaking down the games, there's a loss in the Hofstra men's soccer community. John Pawar, one of the alumni of the program, passed away recently.
Yeah, unfortunately, John Pawar passed away of a heart attack, I think, on Friday, 43 years old. And I'd just like to send our love out to his family and say sorry for the situation. He was a great person, and he'll be sorely missed by everybody.
Now, Coach, let's look back at these 2 games for you this past week. We'll start out with the game Wednesday night that was here at Hofstra against Northeastern. You fall 3-2. Why did your team struggle against the Huskies?
Classic case of missed chances. I thought we played very well over most of the game. Just a case of a few missed chances. We created a lot and we played well. I was happy with our performance overall. Just lacking in a couple of areas and a couple of lapses of concentration, and they've taken their chances well, we haven't, and how we played I was very pleased with, but of course the result didn't go our way. But if you were to say we're going to create 89 chances against Northeastern, I would have been very happy before the game. We just didn't take our chances and a couple of just slip-ups at the back.
Now let's look at the game yesterday. You went to Delaware. You're up 2-0 late in the second half with about 15 minutes left to go in the second half. You're up 2-0. So let's look at this in halves or portions first.
Yeah.
The first part of the game where you're up 2-0, what was your team doing well?
Yeah, game plan was well. We're playing with confidence, moving the ball well. We had a couple of mark situations going off that the players did a very good job on their dangerous players, and we just did well moving the ball and got a couple of great goals. And indeed should have probably gone up by 3 or 4, missed a couple of more chances, and then as ever it's 2-0 at half time, you're a little bit worried, and so the game got tight at the end. I think we got a little bit uptight, and they scored a goal with about 15 minutes to go, and then that gets you more uptight, and we held on till the last 30 seconds. I know we've just conceded a goal, and I think it's hit us emotionally. And then they've done us in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes, of overtime. So I've got to give credit to Delaware. They kept fighting, but again, if we'd finished our chances, it would have been game over.
Roberto Jimenez had those 2 goals for Delaware to force overtime to tie it up. Was he just playing that much better than the defense on that day, or what was he doing?
No, the major danger was Frimpong. And we man-marked him with AJ Laza. Unfortunately, just after half-time, AJ pulled his hamstring, so we had to change our game plan somewhat. And, he just caused us lots of problems. He's probably one of the best 2 or 3 attackers in the conference, and just very dangerous and very quick. He created the first goal, and he created us problems the last half hour as we tired.
Now, you look at some of the positives for your team this week. Sean Foster had 2 goals for your team. Is that a really huge spark plug for your team when you can have a center back like that get involved in the goal scoring effort?
Well, it helps. You don't care where the goals come from, so long as they come. And again, our forwards would say that they're not firing on all cylinders. And Sean, he's stepped up. He's dangerous when he goes forward, but he's also, when he's out of the back, we lose his composure and calmness. So. He can't be all things to all people, but he's pretty good overall, if you understand.
Heider Emelson also scored his first collegiate goal this week, and he's been a spark plug coming in off the bench for your team this year. So how big is that to see him get a goal under his belt?
Heider's a great player, and coming from Iceland and the style of soccer there, and coming to this fast-paced, athletic style, he struggled somewhat, but he's just starting to get used to it. He played very well the first half yesterday, and he actually created the first goal with a shot that Foster scored, and then he scored the second and played well. So he's getting used to it. He's going to be good for this program down the line, and we're pleased with his performance on the whole yesterday.
Now, you brought up the injury that AJ Laza had, where he tweaked his hamstring. Lucas Amon has been out this year. The injuries starting to pile up now.
Florian Paul, Tommy Beckers,
Exactly.
Tommy Kjartansson, Edish Mashriki. AJ Laza pulled his hamstring. It's probably, in my years here, it's probably been the second worst season I've had for injuries. But, you know, you hope other people step up. We had other people on the field yesterday who did quite well. So we've just got to keep going, injuries or no injuries, we've just got to keep going.
How do you stop yourself from thinking about where your team would be if you had a completely healthy roster?
Well, you don't stop yourself thinking. You do think about it, but then you think about what's your resources and what you can do to best win the next game. And we've got to worry about Drexel, which is our next game, and we've got to get a win out of it. You know, we're in a very difficult position now where I feel like we've got to win 4 out of 5, and we've just got to go out there and take it game by game and concentrate with our resources on the next game.
Now, you have a 2-4 record in conference play. Are you talking with the team about where you are in the standings and what you're going to have to do to make it into the top 6?
Yeah, we touch on it a little bit, but essentially we just take it back game by game and try and keep the focus on the next game and understand that if we don't win the next game, then it's going to put us in a major hole.
You have 2 more conference games coming up this week, so what's going to be the key to victory?
Key is just, it's strange to say, but again, that first half yesterday in the game against Northeastern, the key is finishing chances, because we are creating a lot and we look dangerous going forward. And then once we've scored, it's about keeping our composure and understanding how to win games.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot and good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hofstra fans, for joining us inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Richard Nuttall.